breaking news. The state of Georgia executed Troy Davis by lethal injection at 11:08 p.m. Eastern Time over the vocal and agonized protests of demonstrators outside the prison and people all over the world. Davis was convicted in 1989 of murdering Mark McPhail, an off-duty police officer in Savannah. In the years since, eyewitnesses recanted their testimony. There were claims that another man confessed to the crime, and support for clemency for Davis spread internationally. From former FBI Director William Sessions to Pope Benedict XVI, many people believed there was just too much doubt here to put a man to death. But court after court rejected Davis's pleas, including at the 11th hour tonight, the U.S. Supreme Court. Troy Davis was 42 years old, and he is the 35th person to be executed in the United States this year. We're going to turn now to a murder trial that is in progress right now in Florida, where the defense began its efforts today to convince a jury there that a Millionaire developer is not responsible for the shooting death at close range of his wife. He admits to having shot her. He told the 911 operator as much, but he says it was an accident. The latest tapes to emerge of the defendant talking on a phone from a police interrogation room are just part of the evidence against him. Here's ABC's Ashley Banfield for our series, Crime and Punishment.
Diane killed herself tonight.
Blunt and to the point, a Florida millionaire calls his lawyer with some shocking news.
There's nothing to be worried about other than my wife is dead.
And you may be seated.
Today, Bob Ward's defense team began the process of dismantling the case that prosecutors have built against him.
Is that consistent with a struggle over the gun based on your experience?
Well, it is certainly, and if people are struggling over a weapon, you can have almost anything occur. This was, in my mind, was never consistent with a gunshot wound suicide. It was more consistent with struggling over a weapon.
But in an age where trials play out live on TV, his actions are as much a part of this case as the complex forensics unraveling in court.
It's the end of the barrel to the skin.
Jurors are being asked to decide if Diane Ward committed suicide as her husband Bob tried to save her, or if Bob shot her in the face in cold blood. Not an easy mystery to solve, but along with gunshot residue, autopsy shots, and a paper trail of crippling debt, they're being given a glimpse into the millionaire's mind and a telling look at how he behaved the night Diane died and police brought him in.
I haven't told them anything at all, but I mean, you know, I got 2 kids in the morning I got to deal with.
Bob Ward had no idea this conversation was being recorded. A phone call from jail the night Diane died.
I mean, you know, I got a dead wife that's just been hauled out of there.
It should have come as no surprise to Bob Ward that he was being recorded at a police station when he was on the phone.
Even as detectives gave Ward his cell phone, he joked about the battery.
Oh yeah, we're still up. We got 2 bars.
Okay.
And when they began to talk, he seemed unusually sanguine about the death of his wife.
I don't know what happened here. I'm still trying to
investigate
and try to figure out what
my
happened.
wife's dead.
When it came to breaking the news to his wife's sister,
Hello?
Paula, hey, let me speak to Glenn, please.
he instead asked to speak to her husband.
Diane's dead.
Oh, no. Is there anything that you can say about how it happened, or?
It was a very tragic accident. And other than that, all I wish I could do was go and shoot myself in the head and go on.
Ward was denied bail and was seen on jailhouse visitation tapes dancing for his smiling daughter Mallory and giving a lighthearted tour of his cell.
There's no cold water and barely any hot water. The toilet does flush though. So, believe me, I'm right here in the wrist.
Such a lifestyle change for you.
It certainly would have been more helpful to the defense if he was distraught and confused and upset, as opposed to being sort of cavalier about the whole thing.
Neither Mallory nor her sister Sarah have helped the prosecution. In fact, Sarah struggled through her testimony just days into his trial, suggesting she thought her mom had been drinking the night she died.
Was she slurring her words?
No.
Were you there to observe her demeanor?
No.
You were not there when your mother ended up shot in the face.
That sound? Sarah Ward's father slamming his hand on the table in the courtroom right in front of his daughter, who quickly broke down. As Ward is consoled by his attorney, Sarah tries to leave the stand, but is overcome with emotion. Just after the shooting, Ward seemed extremely confident his stay at the Orange County Jail was going to be a short one, especially with his wife's funeral on the horizon.
I'll get out of here, I think, the first of the week with no problem. Anything scheduled service-wise this weekend?
That was 2 years ago this week, and Bob Ward is still in lockup. He's brought to and from court every day, and will be at least until the end of this week, when the case is expected to wrap up. For Nightline, this is Ashley Banfield in New York.